Auto Spa of Greenville. I want to talk to you today about why you really do get what you pay for in life most of the time. I'm not saying that's always the case. I'm sure we've all had occasions where we've paid more for something and gotten less. But I want to talk about normally, if you do your research and you study and you figure it out, and you go with the right company or the right product, then you're generally going to get what you pay for. So, and I want to talk about why detailing, it's hard to really blame even the detail companies, because I think most people can agree when detailing first came out, detailing was very expensive and detailing was actually more detailed. And then over time, you had some consumers and some companies, we call it a race to the bottom. And that's where, a company starts a service or is getting started, and they come out and they get fair pricing for their work. And then before you know it, you have another company coming out, and that's competition, and that's totally okay. I mean, that's part of what makes our country so great, is we have a free marketplace. But the problem is, and I don't know why it often happens in our arena, in the car service arena, you have other guys come out, and then instead of competing on quality, they start competing on price. So then they go down on price, they go down on price, and then next thing you know, everybody's pretty much the same price. But the problem is that they're going down on the level of service and the quality they're given. Because you cannot deliver a high quality product with, sorry about that, we've got a call coming in. You cannot deliver a high quality product or service with a really low price. Okay, so when I hear people complain about the detail companies, the quality of work that customers are getting there and what the expectations have become, basically I almost feel like I have to defend some of these detail companies, because for the price they're getting, they really can't give the customer what they're expecting. And so, but I'm also not blaming the consumer for that. I just think it's, that's why we started offering a premium service here at Extreme Colors, because we know that there are customers, who are looking to have a premium service and are willing to pay a little bit more for that. And I believe the market's been hungry for that for quite some time, because one of the number one complaints that I've heard by being in this space that we're in is that you can't get a really high quality detail. So I just want to talk about, and I've got these bags here because I just got this bag. This was, my wife found this, and I carry a lot of stuff because of course I own this business and I'm meeting with a lot of people, and I don't know, I just like carrying a lot of things. I don't like being ill-equipped when I go to meet somebody or when I go home or when I come to work. So I have been carrying this bag around, and I'm just using this as an example of quality, right? Like I say, I'm the kind of person, I don't mind paying more for a better quality product. But this bag, I carry this thing, and I think I bought it at, I don't know, Costco or something, and I paid probably $50 or $60 for it. I'm not going to tell you even what I paid for this one. This is like handmade. I mean, it's a really nice bag. Okay, I splurged on that. But what happened was, like, within no time, the zippers quit working. I filled it with all my junk in here, and then I'm walking out, and it won't zip, and stuff's falling out. And my wife was like, you really need to get something else, because you go in to meet with, one of these companies that you do business with. This does not really look like what you're trying to represent as far as quality. Like I say, I did pay more for this, and I knew I was paying more, and I didn't mind paying more, because I knew what I was getting. This bag right here comes with a 100-year warranty. Like I say, these are handmade. I researched, I studied, I did, my wife did most of that, but I came in and kind of did my own toward the end when it was time to make a decision. And I found what I believe to be the very best quality, and this is like a briefcase. It is not a man purse, okay? So don't even, I know I'm going to catch it from my guys here, but no, really, this thing's really nice. I mean, I've got all my stuff in it, and I'll just show you. And I'm not trying to sell these bags. It's made by Saddleback Leather Company. And like I say, if you're somebody who carries a lot of junk and you want to make a good impression when you're going somewhere, if you're trying to do business, this is definitely a good bag. As you can see, I've got my my iPad fits in there. I am a concealed weapons permit holder, so I have my gun in there. And I am an ex-state trooper, so I know how to use that thing. But I keep my files. You know, you can keep a bottle of water, sunglasses. You know, everything's right here. And like I say, this bag, their tagline is that when you die, your family will be fighting over this thing. So, and I believe that, you know, maybe Blake will get mine and Kaylee will get Laura's. But anyway, so that's just an example of quality. And now I want to talk about how this relates to the detail industry, okay? Because our entry-level package, we call the bronze package, and this is for paint that's, it's not highly neglected, but it just needs a clay bar polish, you know, needs some touch-up, and then we do our ceramic pro sport coating on it, which actually comes with a 6-month paint warranty, and is expected to last up to a year. But that's our entry-level package, and I just want to do the economics with you because I think if for people who, most of our customers get it, right? I mean, we don't have people complaining about price, but I just want to explain it to somebody who maybe don't get it, okay, what the difference is and why our pricing is structured the way it is and why the other detail shops is priced the way they are, okay? So, like for example, if you go in this industry, so you have like body shops, this is what we would be kind of similar to. You have like body shops or service shops, like mechanic shops. So like if you go over to Porsche and you have service work done on your Porsche, I think their labor rate's going to be around $130 an hour, which is, you know, that's a lot. But it's a Porsche dealer, right? So you're paying for expertise. That's what you're paying for a company that's going to back up the work they do. You're paying for a company that's not going to go away. You go to BMW, they're probably similarly. I mean, it may even be more than that now. Now, in the body shop world, just primarily because the insurance companies have regulated the labor rate for body shops should be in that $100 an hour labor rate range, but they're not, unfortunately, because our insurance companies carry a lot of power. So you're in about the $50 an hour rate, body shop rate. So body shops end up having to do other creative things to try to make up for that lower rate. Because you got, like, I mean, in today's world, you know, if you have a service company like ours, where we're a legitimate company, we're not working out of our house, we're not working, you know, we're not all doing another career and this is our hobby. Like, we're a legitimate company doing legitimate work in a legitimate location. Then we have to be, like, for our detailing type packages, we have to be around $50 an hour labor rate. So this is the breakdown. So when we do a bronze package, we basically figure, and we work in teams here. So you have like Matthew, and you have Sheldon over there, and so everybody works in teams. So we figure on a bronze package, you know, we're going to spend about 3.5 hours on a job to do a bronze. Now, if you go to a detail shop, they're not going to do a bronze package. They're not going to do what all we do. And our bronze package also comes with an express detail on the inside. Of course, we clean the wheels, we juice the tires if you want it. We do all that. It looks like a detail, but it's more extensive than a regular detail when we're done. So, but if we spend 3.5 hours at 2 men, that's 7 hours. So that's $50 an hour labor rate is basically what we're charging for our bronze package. Now, sometimes we get cars in and we end up spending more than that, more time than that, but we still price it the same. But there could be an occasion we spend a little less than that, but that's not normal that happens. So like our silver package, that ends up being, it starts out at $500, and that's a full paint correction. So it depends on the paint quality, the size of the vehicle, and all that. So we generally price it at about $50 per man hour, like I say, 2-man teams. So that's where we have to be. Like, we have to be, because you got to imagine, you know, like, if you have somebody working in an industry and they're making $15 an hour, that employee is actually costing the company probably around like $23 an hour, minimally, because you have all the other, you know, companies have to pay half the Social Security cost of an employee if they give them any benefits, time off. You know, you got unemployment insurance. I mean, there's all these fees that people aren't familiar with. So, like I say, and then you got your overhead, you got material costs, you've got marketing, you've got sales guys, you've got reception. I mean, there's so many costs that go into a legitimate business, and I stress the word legitimate here. So if you're a legitimate service business, you have to be, like I say, around that $50 an hour mark if you're going to stay in business. That's the idea, right? We want to stay in business. So I go back to, if we were to take our bronze package, and you can get a regular detail that wouldn't be equivalent to our bronze, but just say we tried to do something similar to a bronze and we tried to compete with the $200 detail shops in town, then that will put our labor rate at $28 per man hour. I mean, there's probably some of you people watching who may be making that much an hour, right, as an employee. So what would we have to do? So if we decided we're going to compete with other detail shops in town, and we're going to compete on price, we're not going to compete on quality, right? Then we're going to lower our price to match them. Then there's only so much you can do with that, right? Because for us to, you know, be a viable business that continues to exist, and that's, like I say, that's our goal. We don't not only want to exist, we want to thrive, and we want to grow too. And we want to be here. When we give you a 10-year warranty on our paint protection film, we want to be here in 9 years if you have an issue to handle it, right? And I've been doing this since 1995, so I'm not going anywhere. But the reason I'm not going anywhere is because we're priced correctly. So if we went down to $200 for our bronze to compete, then we got to start cutting costs. First cost is labor. Labor is the most expensive cost for any company, especially in the service industry. So we have to start cutting our expertise level. So, like, I can't train guys and invest time in them and get them to an expert level, and then pay them really good for that. And we pride ourselves on paying really well here at Extreme Colors. We train all of our guys, so we don't start them out really high, but we build them up, and then we increase their pay to go along with the value they bring as they go. So we have to start cutting there. And like I say, if you're paying $200 for a detail, I can just about guarantee you that the people who are doing the detail are not making a lot of money doing it. They probably maybe aren't being paid a fair wage. So, you know, some people may get really mad about a sweatshop in another country who's abusing their employees, but that's happening probably here in town as well. So equipment. So we could reduce our equipment costs. We could quit using the Italian rupees polishers that we use. We could not have spent money on, you know, outfitting our shops with heat and air, dust control, LED lights, painted floors. You know, we could have not done those things, and then, you know, we could be doing this outside, you know, if we wanted to. That was a way we could cut costs. Then materials, like we use the latest and greatest materials that are in the marketplace, but like I say, if we weren't able to charge a fair price for the work we do, we'd have to cut the price on our materials. And then we'd have to reduce the time we spend on the vehicle. There's no way we could have 7 hours spent on a $200 vehicle and be sustainable doing the work the way we do it here. We'd have to cut down on maybe our location. Maybe we have to move to another part of town that's not as desirable for our customers. Maybe it's not as safe for your car to be at. We'd have to cut down on management. You know, if we had our price so low, maybe the company I couldn't afford to pay myself to be here. You know, and I couldn't afford to have a client advisor who handles calls back quickly, schedules, stays on top of things. I couldn't have our receptionist to sit up front and greet people when they come in. But ultimately, the quality would be sacrificed. So I don't want to keep boring you with this stuff. I just wanted to point out that if you're paying $200 for a detail, you're probably getting $200 worth of detail, right? And if that's all you're looking for, that's fine. And we've actually had customers come to us who say, hey, we're about to sell our vehicle. We just want it to look a little shinier and the interior clean. And we have honestly told many customers, look, you need a $200 detail because you're not keeping the car. You're not concerned with trying to make it look awesome. You're just wanting to get rid of it. You know, I think what you're looking for, you would be better to spend your money at a local detail shop. So we're very honest. That's why we're client advisors here. We advise people. We try to find a good match for the customers with us. And if we don't have a good match, or if we don't feel like it's a good match, then we make a recommendation. Anyway, I'm going to let you go now. I appreciate you watching. If you have any questions, give us a call. Our number is 864-283-0633. And I hope you have a great day.